Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. It's day 5 of our 7 days of simple, fast Christmas cards. I hope you've been having fun, because I definitely have. And this time it's going to be all about embossing and how lovely you can make a layered embossed look. I hope you'll stay tuned. So this is the first one I made, and it's just kind of a rough idea of what you can make with embossing, and I embossed the inside. The stamp I used is a big background stamp from Ton Stamps called Poinsettia Garden. Pretty sure that's the name of it. If it's wrong, you'll see it down below, but I'm almost positive that's the right name. And I've already stamped it out, and I did it on red glitter paper, not glitter paper, mirror paper. I don't want to flashes. It was like this, only it was red. And then I put gold embossing powder on it and heat set it. I didn't think you needed to see that part of it because that's a pretty simple process. But it looks like this when it's done. Normally my red mirror paper is not as matte as this, but this is a choice I made, is to go with this a little bit less bright color. So I cut out a piece of it, of one of the ones I had done, and I'm going to put it on a silver background. Then I'll show you the sizes and everything in a minute. Then I had a big piece of 12 by 12 paper, and it looked like this, only it's, obviously 12 by 12, and I took a piece of it and I just cut around the edge. And I thought it'd be fun to just layer this in the corner of my card. It'll make more sense when we get there. But we're going to start with a 5.5 by 4.25 inch card base. I've already put my sentiment in the inside, and I think my sentiment is either from Christmas Cardinal, that was a Stampin' Up set, or Watercolor Winter, that's also an old Stampin' Up set. Yeah, I have 100 of these old sets. Anyway, so the first thing I wanted to do was use my embossing pouch that I made myself with cornstarch and a knee-high, well actually 2 knee-highs that I put inside of each other, and then I put some cornstarch in it. And I like this better than all the tools I have, and I have a bunch of them. I have the pouch and I have the little bottle, but I like this one best. It makes me happy and it works good. So the first thing I wanted to do is I want to use this, it's like holly leaves and holly berries, and I'm going to use that with the gold embossing powder. I'm going to do that all around the front of the card, but first I want to put my sentiment where I just think I need it first, and I'm going to put it up in this top right hand corner, I think. So I'm using Versamark ink, and I just want to make sure I get my sentiment where I want it. That looks good. Then I'm going to take my holly leaves and berries, and this is just going to be at an angle. I'm going to put them here. You're not going to see some of them. Some of them are going to be hidden underneath my background, and some you will see. I think I missed a little bit there. That's alright. As long as you get a little bit on there, that's all that matters. And then I'm going to put some right there. Oh, got a few berries there. And then I'm going to close my card and do the edges. We want it all to have a little bit of leaf action on it. I'm going to turn it over this time to get this side. I'm going nuts now. Gotta stop. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it's going to look like once we get some gold on it. And I've been using, this is my scrap paper, and here's my gold. I'm using Ranger. It's just gold. I thought it was Princess Gold, but it's not. It's just gold. And I'm gonna just lay this lightly You know, I usually miss about half of it onto my desk. You don't think other people will show you those things? No. Other crafters, they'll hide the fact that they just got embossing powder all over their desk. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to tell you like it is. I've got embossing powder all over my desk. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is I bought a little makeup brush too. And I gotta find where I put it. I just bought it. There it is. And what I want to do with this is everywhere that I have stray embossing powder, or anywhere that I don't want it. Like sometimes you'll have a berry and you think, I don't really want a berry in that spot. Well, you can just wipe it off at this point. Now's the time for you to fix anything you don't love. So if you have a moment to look at it, take the time and wipe off anything that's kind of bugging you, or something you just think is in a weird place and you want that gone. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this leaf doesn't look like it's well inked, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to basically eliminate it. It's gone. Where was it? I don't know. I'm a magician. I seriously think I have issues. And if you don't think I have issues, I'm glad to hear that, because I really do think I have issues. I'm going to heat up my tool. You always want to make sure that your embossing gun is really hot before you bring it to your paper, for a few reasons. One being that it'll warp your paper more if you don't, and another reason being that it's easier to burn your paper when it's not hot when you take it to the paper, because you'll spend more time on the paper and then you could burn it. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Now, if you wanted to, you could color these in, you could do all kinds of things, but as you know, we're going for a fast card. So I'm going to glue those two together first, because I want to make sure that they're exactly where I want them before I get crazy with this. Alright, so I have this piece glued together, and my goal is to put it right there on my card. I want to have all these pieces of ivy onto the side, and I already put some tear tape, or tape runner on the back of this. If I could remember the names of things, it would be great, wouldn't it? I think that's where I want that. Okay, so I'm not going to glue on my panel until I've done a little bit of glittering. I know what you're thinking. Geez, oh man, this card's going to be a long one. It's not, because this is a very fast process. I'm going to take a glitter pen. Well, no, not a glitter pen. I made that word up. It's a glue pen, in case you didn't know. And I'm going to just run it on the berries, not on the leaves, because that would not be right, because this is a red glitter. We just want to make sure that the berries are all nice and colored in. Okay, let's go for it. Now this glitter, I'm not sure where I got it. I think it could be Stampin' Up's glitter. I don't know. It's one of those things that, you know, I acquired at the beginning of my stamping time and thought, oh, I'll use lots of that. Sure I will. I don't know if you know anything about glitter, but if you do, you know that glitter is one of those things that it just seems to keep coming into your life more and more. Ooh, I want to show you the fun thing I bought. Okay, keep in mind, every once in a while when I buy things on Aliexpress, I forget to check out measurements. And this said, I'm going to quote, that this is a glitter spoon. Okay, this is a very, very teeny, tiny spoon. It still's making me laugh though. Look at the little bobble on it. I'm loving it. When I got it, I was like, what the heck is that? Did I order that? And then I remembered, I did order a glitter spoon. It's not really what I would consider a glitter spoon. Somehow I think a glitter spoon would be something that would actually hold a little bit of glitter, but it's, you know, it is what it is. So I used my pen again, and I did a little bit of green glitter for my leaves. I'm going to use my glitter spoon because I don't want a lot, and you know this clearly doesn't put a lot out there. I couldn't find a dark green in my glitter, so I'm going with this lighter green. I don't think it'll be a big bummer if it's too light. I don't think it'll be a problem is what I'm saying. My glitter spoon is going to do all the work for me. Let's see. I've had some people asking me if I might be willing to continue past day 7, and I said if I can stop Rich from running away and crying really bad. For those of you who don't know Rich, he's my husband. He's the greatest guy in the world. We've been married for 36 years, and I think he's the greatest, but when it comes to doing this, he has his limits where he can crack under the pressure of it. Just saying, it could happen. Let me wipe off with my new brush. I'm going to use this for my glitter. I'm just going to wipe off the things I don't like. Yes, you can use this brush for anything from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to get my tape runner, and we're going to get serious about getting this bad boy adhered to our card. I'm digging it. I don't know about you guys. Should I have popped that up on dimensionals? Oh, these things sometimes make me think about maybe putting some glitter in here too. This is supposed to be a fast and easy card. The longer I go, the more crazy I'm going to get over it. Let this all dry, and then I'll come back and we'll finish it up and see how it looks when we're done. So the one thing that I was thinking after I finished these cards was that what if you didn't have a great big background poinsettia stamp that you could make this out of? And here's what I think you should try. If you don't have a great big background and you do have a simple poinsettia stamp, you could take a piece of mirror cardstock that's red and just stamp your poinsettia all over it. Or you could take your poinsettia and your ivy and the leaves and stamp that all over it with Versamark, and then do the gold embossing powder. So either way, you don't have to have the great big background stamp to make this work. I always like to give you options, and hopefully those will, they'll work for you. Anyway, so here's one that we just finished. I'm not sure if I went too far with this glitter, but I thought that the right side of the card had a lot going on and the left side of the card was a little bit missing something, and I can always wipe off a little bit more of that. So in the end, here are our day 5 cards. I know I told you I would give you the measurements. Poinsettia on this piece is 2 1/4, and it is 4 inches tall. So then the piece above it is 4 1/4 inches tall and 2 1/2 across. And then this piece, the poinsettia piece, is 4 3/4, and the gold piece is 5 inches tall, and the poinsettia is 3 3/4, and the bottom, no, 2 3/4, excuse me, and the bottom is 3 inches. You can see the glitter in this one that's all over inside here. I thought it really turned out pretty. I like the green that's almost a silver on the leaves, and on this one I put just that little bit of green and red glitter on it. So those are our cards. I did take some of my pre-made cards. This one has a poinsettia on it, and I put a poinsettia and gold embossed it on the bottom and the front of those. I hope that you enjoyed these, that you're enjoying this series, and that you'll be ready for number 6 tomorrow. I hope you give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.